It is time to do the final step in figuring out if this topic that you have chosen is really a good topic for you. And what we're going to do is put together an episode list. This is going to test how much content you can get out of your topic. And so just take a piece of paper out, or on your phone or on your iPad, a computer, whatever, and make a list of all the videos that you think you can do on this topic. And you can stop when you get to 25, okay? If you can get to 25 easily, then I think we've got a real good start. The first round is going to be just brainstorming. Just put down any idea that comes to your mind and make a big long list of it. The second round is going to be going through and parsing it out. If you have something, say you're going to be doing a video channel on your favorite tokay geckos. Having one video on the husbandry of tokay geckos is okay, but that's a big video. There's a lot of information in there. It may be a good strategic move to say have one, the ultimate guide to husbandry of the tokay gecko, and have one big long video. That could be strategic. But consider how many videos you can break up husbandry of the tokay gecko into. It will be a balance between presentation and entertainment and presenting information, but just know that you can go in and some of these very big topics, you can break it up into 2, 3, 5 different videos. And so if you only come up with 5 videos and you're frustrated, start thinking, okay, well maybe can I actually break these things up into smaller videos? And that doesn't mean you're taking away the quality. It means you're focusing in. Remember, on a YouTube channel, you have, if you're doing it weekly, you've got 52 weeks through the entire year that you can sit, get comfortable, and share this information. You don't have to do it all at once. And that's a mindset to get into. You're developing an ongoing relationship with your viewer. So you don't have to get it all out all at once. Expect them to come back next week for the next installment. Now, the third wave on this list is you're going to go back and you're saying, okay, what here is actually possible? As in, if you have something, well, I want to do an episode on the geopolitics of the tokay gecko and how it relates to environmental destruction in its native habitat. Okay, that's a pretty meaty episode. Are you going to be able to do that? And okay, not only are you going to be able to do that, how much time will it take you to do that? To really do the research and put something meaty together? And will that be a good return on investment? So you get one video out of that. Is your audience really going to sit through 45 minutes of you going into that detail? So go through that list and start scrubbing it and saying, okay, how can I actually pull off this video? Is it just me sitting here and talking about it and putting on some B-roll? Okay, that's doable. Is it something where I've actually got to bring on an expert? Well, okay, maybe that's doable if I know experts and they're willing to come on. And so you're going to be gauging it as far as how hard it would be for you to actually put that video together. Now, if this is the first time that you are brainstorming episode lists, give yourself time. Don't expect to be good at it when you just sit down and just look at that blank piece of paper and say, okay, now I got to fill this with 25 episode ideas. That may be difficult. Give yourself some time. Maybe put down 3 or 4 or 5 and then take a break. It's amazing how much I get done just standing in the shower and letting the warm water flow over me. I'm a shower genius. I need a board, a waterproof board in the shower for me to just write down stuff. So doing things other than staring at a piece of paper is a really good strategy. Taking a warm shower, a leisurely warm shower, sleeping on it. It's amazing what I think about when I lay down to sleep and I just relax and I get all sorts of ideas. Take a walk. Take some time to put this list together. Just because you can't figure it all out immediately doesn't mean it's a bad topic for you. Give yourself a couple of days. Now, after a couple of days, if you find that you are really struggling to put together a list of 25 episodes, well, then reconsider. You really don't have to have 25 episodes. That's a lot. I mean, that's essentially half a year's episodes. So you can easily start with just, say, 8 episodes. That's 2 months. So if you have 10, that doesn't mean that this topic has to be thrown away. It just means you're getting into the flow of figuring out what episodes are going to be. And I will say, once you have a list of 10 episodes and you start filming those 10 episodes, you're going to get ideas along the way. And so that 10 episodes ends up being a 4-month project because you get different ideas throughout filming. But what this does at a high level is saying, can you come up with episodes for this topic? And once you do, are you happy about those episodes? Are you excited about those episodes? About when you're done with that list, will you look back and say, wow, I really had fun doing this. I came far, I accomplished something. Or do you look at that list of, okay, here's the marching orders, this is what I gotta do. If you are feeling like it's a job and a chore now, that's a warning sign, because when you actually get into filming and editing and promotion and all of that, that's kind of a grind. It's easier to do that grind if you're very excited about what you've produced. Before we go into the halftime, I want to go over some catalysts to just get you started when you're looking at that blank sheet of paper or screen, whatever it is. And that is, think about what it is that you love about the topic. That's going to be a good video right there. This is what I love about this topic. We'll come up with a good title later. Second, you can think about, what did it take for you to get to where you are on whatever topic this is? And that can be, okay, this is how I first got introduced to it. This is how you can get started. These are the great resources for you to get started. You see, whatever topic it is, we're all somewhere along the path. You have a beginner, you have every level of experience to where you get to expert level, and actually at the expert level, that's when they're really starting to learn. And so there's never really an end point. But we're all someplace on this progression for every topic that we're interested in. And so your job, number one, is to acknowledge where you are on that growth. You don't have to be an expert to create a YouTube video on something. You just have to be passionate about it and be fully transparent and honest as to where you are on that progression. The big mistake I see YouTubers make is they come on, they start, and they want to talk as though they're an expert. And to do that, they have to put on a persona, essentially make it until you, or is it, no, fake it until you make it, that thing. Don't do that. You've got to live your persona on YouTube. And so be fully transparent as to where you are. The secret is, it doesn't matter that you're not an expert. If you are a complete beginner, you can make an engaging YouTube video on your path to learn. So you're not coming on telling people how to do it, which you don't know. You come on saying, all right, join me in my journey as I learn how to do this thing. And no matter how experienced you are, I mean, I do this. I'm at the forefront of chameleon husbandry, but you see on my shows, I'm always talking about what I'm learning about something different. I'm bringing on experts like Bioactive. I've brought on all sorts of people to teach me, as everybody else is watching, about Bioactive. And so not being an expert does not mean you should not do a video. It means do a video on you learning. So this is an example of how you and your learning journey can turn into a number of different videos. If you are an expert, well then go through all the steps that it takes to get to where you are. And you can share your path as to where you're going. And so, with all of that, go ahead and start putting together a list of things. Take a look at it. Do you like it? Feel free to share it around with your friends and saying, hey, what videos do you think you would like to see me do? However you do it, see if you can come up with 25 episodes. There's nothing magic about that number. That's just what I use personally to see, do I really have an in-depth passion for this topic enough that it's going to sustain me? And 25 is a heck of a lot of videos. So that's the number I choose. You can choose whatever number you want. The important thing is that you prove to yourself that this is a subject that you can take long term. It is time for the halftime. When we come back, I'm going to be talking about naming your channel. See you soon. All right, we are here for the next episode in your development of a YouTube channel. How's it going so far?
I'm learning a lot of things. That's what I have to say.
Well, last episode was about purpose and promise.
Yes.
And I know you did some work on that.
I did.
Okay, so let's do all the steps just like everybody else is doing. Purpose. As a review, purpose is what you are selfishly getting for all of the time that you are spending on your YouTube channel. So, Yvette, what is your purpose for the YouTube channel for Misty Mountain fans?
Well, I did write this down. So
we're official.
My purpose is to sell more satanic leaf-tailed geckos that I breed, the ones that I breed, and also to create a library of information that I can send to people that have questions, that need help. And it would save me a lot of time by just, having a video and a playlist, and I could just send a link and they can go immediately watch that video and they can find out more information and hopefully answer all their questions.
Okay, so your purpose is for more sales for your breeding business.
Yes, more sales for my breeding business.
And to save time and increase the quality of the education that you're giving the people that are going to be your customers.
That sounds great. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Promise.
Oh, but yeah, my promise. Okay.
Yeah.
Boy, I had to get my pen out and get it all there.
Once again, promise is what you are going to be giving so people will come to your channel and give you what you want.
Okay. Hopefully I can read through these scribbles here. My promise is I want to make videos to introduce people to the coolest gecko in the world, of course, and help my customers be successful with a long life with their gecko.
Okay. That sounds like a good purpose and promise.
Yes.
And you have the roadmap to make videos, and we look forward to this Saturday's first video.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much. And we're going to get on with the show. Welcome back. It's time to start thinking about naming your channel. Now, this sounds simple, but naming the channel can be one of the more traumatic decisions that a YouTuber has to go through. I have seen in companies that I've worked for, the naming of a product or a service or something is something that takes weeks and weeks and brings people to wanting to fight each other. It's not that important. And I just want to impart to you that the name doesn't create your channel creates the name. And what I mean by that is, go just take a look at all the YouTubers that you watch right now. Take a look at the names. What do those names actually mean? What's a reptiliatus? What's a reach out reptiles? I mean, what does that mean? They really don't mean anything in themselves. But the reason why they have meaning is the person behind it and the effort that they've put into that entire video channel. So they have breathed life into those names. Take the name of this channel, Misty Forest Dragons. What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. And that's the point. It's a container that I can fill with meaning. Now, there are some considerations. You have to like the name, because if you make merch, you're going to be seeing the name all over the place and all of your fans are going to be wearing this name. So you do have to make sure that you like the name. Second, you want it to, although I'm saying you are filling the name with meaning, you don't want the name to point in a totally different direction to the point where it's confusing. If you have a reptile channel, calling your reptile channel Big Bird Speaks, it's a little confusing. I mean, yeah, you can fill it with all sorts of reptile information or race car information or whatever it is you want. But if you say Big Bird Speaks, people are thinking, okay, is this about birds? Is this about Sesame Street? Reptiles, race cars, those aren't first things that come to mind. So you have to be careful that your name doesn't mislead people, at least with their first impressions. If there's something you feel passionate about, yes, you can overcome that, but just know that you're going to have to overcome it. Here's an example. I was working with Eddie Garabito. He works with Blue Tree Monitors and wanted to do an outreach, and we were talking about whether his outreach should be the Blue Tree Monitor website or it should be Father Blue. Father Blue is his nickname. And I was relating to him that if he uses something that says Blue Tree Monitors, then SEO, search engine optimization, this is the like Google searching, would find him a whole lot easier. But if he infuses the name Father Blue with all sorts of Blue Tree Monitor content, Google is going to have no problem knowing where to send people. And so you can pick whatever name you want. The one thing you want to make sure is you don't let it stop you from creating a channel. Don't get stuck on the name so you don't move forward. Now, let's go over some considerations for this name. Once you find some names you like, make a list. Give yourself some options. You want to think about the future. And the future is more than just a YouTube channel. The future may include a website. It may include other social media accounts. And so it's a good idea to take your name that you like, or your 5 names, and see if that domain name for a website is available, so the .com. While there are so many different extensions, you can do .com, .net, and they've come up with so many different ones. So even if it's taken, you do have a chance of getting a domain name with your chosen name. But if you see somebody's already got the .com, if somebody's already created a YouTube channel, somebody's already created an Instagram account with this name, rethink whether you want to start a YouTube channel with that name. Even if it's totally legal, even if they can't copyright the name, trademark, whatever they're doing and keep you from using that name. You don't want your people to be confused. Take this channel, for example, Misty Forest Dragons. The word Misty and the word dragons, oh my goodness. You know how hard it is to find any open domain with those words in it? And good luck finding anything if I do Misty Mountain Dragons. Oh! All of the Hobbit, Dungeons and Dragons people have all taken up all of the Misty Mountain whatevers domains out there. And so test it out. It may be okay. For example, Chameleon Academy. There are other Chameleon Academies out there. I think there is a hair salon. There's a software training group. There's a basketball camp. There, crazy things. None of them have anything to do with chameleons. And so it's okay that we all have Chameleon Academy, because the people who want the basketball camp aren't going to be coming onto my website and saying, hey, where's the basketball? Now, I can't imagine that people wouldn't go to their website saying, where's the chameleons, because it's Chameleon Academy. But, you know, whatever. That's what they chose. Now, I got the .com, and so all of them knew that there was a Chameleon Academy out there when they created their URLs and had to add different things afterwards. And so they looked at that and they said, that's okay. He's working with chameleons. We are not. And so we don't think that there's going to be confusion. That's fair. That's valid. I'm okay with other Chameleon Academies out there. We don't clash. Just be careful of using names that are already used, and be careful of using names that have just a little tweak to them that maybe make it legally okay, but still will have some confusion. You do not want traffic from another site. If somebody else has that name and they're doing the other thing, you don't want traffic from them. Don't think that that's a strategy, because the people who find you will be disappointed. They're looking for that other outreach. They're not looking for you. You want people to look for you, and you want to be distinct enough that when they look for you, they find you. If you have a name that is very close to somebody else because you think you're being clever, because they're bigger than you and you're going to take their audience, well, what happens if you get bigger than them? Well, now they're taking your audience. So I say just avoid it altogether. I would have loved to call this channel Here Be Dragons. That's what, when the old-time map makers were talking about parts of the ocean where they didn't know what was out there, they had to put something down there, they would put Here Be Dragons. That's very cool, and I would have loved to call this channel Here Be Dragons. I could do that on YouTube, but the URL's taken. There's so many people who have used that term, because this is a cool term, that I would have to fight all of that to use that name. Is it worth it? No, because it's just a name, just like Misty Forest Dragons is. Having that, although it's cool and would look good on merch, it's not going to be something that's going to make or break the channel, and I would like to have something that is unique and my own. Those of you who have been around as the internet has grown up and have worked with websites and search engine optimization may feel that your name should have something to do with your topic, like Chameleon Academy. Ooh, that's a good one. Good SEO. That is becoming less and less necessary. Back when the internet started, if your domain name had what you did, that's what search engines looked for, is in the title. Then the tags that were in the website. And so if you looked in the code. Now, the search engines are so good that they go in and they look at all of your content. Now, I could have the name xyztreedroppings.com, and if I had a lot of content on chameleons, Google would know that I'm the place to go to send people who are interested in chameleons. So when you're going for a name, think about what's going to have impact for your YouTube audience, knowing that you can fill it with whatever meaning you want, as long as you're not confusing people. So when you're figuring out a name, you want an empty vessel that you can fill with meaning. Beware of terms that will mislead people to begin with, and beware of terms that somebody else has already infused with meaning. But outside of that, find yourself a name that you can infuse with your particular meaning. You may say, I can't figure out one, I don't want to commit to one. It is important to find one and start. Find one that's good enough. If in the future you need to change that name, you need to rebrand, that is possible. There is a bit of work depending upon how far down the line you are, but you can always rebrand if you need to. And so, your homework going forward, make your episode list and then start looking at names.